Welcome back, y'all. It's Just Math. We're going to work on video number 2. We're working on the practice test. I stopped the last video because I had made an error and I needed to find it. So problem number 4, do you see the error? Let's fix this. That should be a negative 64. Hopefully you caught that error. That should be a negative 64. There we go. So now let's finish this problem. This is now factorable. I can factor the y, and 32, multiply to give me 32, and add or subtract to give me 4 is going to be 8 and 4. It's going to be a positive 8 and a negative 4. The 2 I get to ignore. Technically, if you want to divide both sides by 2, it works and it goes away, because 0 divided by 2 is, of course, 0. So now I have y plus 8 equals 0, so y is equal to negative 8. And I have y minus 4 equals 0, so y is equal to positive 4. So this is what y is, but now I need to know what x is, so we're going to plug it back in. We can plug it into this pretty blue equation here. So if y is 8, then x is going to be negative 8 plus 4. So x is going to be negative 4. So that produces the answer negative 4, comma, negative 8. And then the second one, plug in the y is 4. We'll have x equals 4 plus 4. So that means x equals 8. So again, 8, 4. So again, we're plugging back in. I'm taking this number and I'm plugging it in there. And I get this answer. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll take the 4, plug it in again in that same location, and I get this answer. All right, let's move on to number 5. Solve by substitution. Again, we need to create an x equals or a y equals. This time we need to make a y equals. We are not messing with that xy equal 54. We're going to do the bottom one. Here we go. We are going to solve for y. We're going to create a y equals. So I'm going to add y to both sides. And that gives me 3x equals y minus 9. And then I'm going to add 9 to both sides. And that gives me 3x plus 9 equals y. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm actually going to take 3x plus 9 and plug it in to the original right there. Okay, so let's look at that. That's going to give me x times 3x plus 9 equals 54. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to solve it, setting it equal to 0. I'm going to factor it. The 3 is common. 18, I think. And then I'll continue factoring. Multiply to give me 18. Add or subtract to give me 3. That's going to be 6 and 3. Plus 6 minus 3. And so x is equal to negative 6 and x is equal to positive 3. Now I'm going to plug these back into the original. I can plug them into either the original or I can plug it into the one I created. Why don't we do that? We can plug it into this one right here. So if x is negative 6, I can figure out what y is. Y is 3x plus 9. So if x is negative 6, then it'll be y is equal to 3 times negative 6 plus 9. So that's negative 18 plus 9, which is positive negative 9. No. Yes, negative 9. So then when x is negative 6, y is negative 9. That's the answer. When x is negative 6, y is negative 9. And that's the answer. Next one, we'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to take x and plug it into this equation. It's 3 times 3 plus 9. So I get y is 9 plus 9, which is y is 18. So here's my answer. X is 3 and y is 18. That is my next answer. There we go. Those are the 2 answers for this one. Notice you can check your answers. If you plug in to the original, like the xy equal 54, negative 6 times negative 9 equal 54. Positive 3 times positive 18 equal negative 54. They'll also work in the next one. Okay, this one, again, solved by substitution. Again, we do not have an x equals or a y equals, so we need to create one. If I create a y equals, it's going to require division. So I'm going to create an x equals. I'm going to take this equation right here, and I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And that's going to give me x equals 8 minus 3y. And that's what I'm going to use for my substitution. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to plug it in for x. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. Let's do it. That gives me y squared is equal to 8 minus 3y squared minus 64. This requires a FOIL. It's going to give me 64. Excuse me. Let's watch my signs. It's the error I made before. 64 minus 24y minus 24y again plus 9 minus 64 is equal to y squared. There's my 9y squared. Okay, about to make another mistake. Okay, so the 64 minus the 64, that's 0. So that's going to give me a negative 48y plus 9y squared equals y squared. I'm going to set it equal to 0. Subtract y squared on both sides, and we get 0 is equal to negative 48y plus 8y squared. I'm going to factor. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to factor out an 8 and a y. That's going to give me a y minus 6 equals 0. So my two answers, 8y equals 0, y minus 6 equals 0. Divide by 8, I get y equals 0. Add 6, I get y equals 6. So those are my two y answers. I'm going to plug those back into the original. I'm going to plug them back into the one I said x equals. When y is equal to 0, what is x going to be equal to? So it says that 8 minus 3 times 0 is equal to x. So that means 8 is equal to x. So that's the point, 8 comma 0. Do the second one, same thing. I'm going to do 8 minus 3 times 6, which is what x is. That's 8 minus 18. So that's negative 10. So that is the answer, negative 10 comma 6. Those are my two answers. There we go. We have this one, and we have this one. Number 6. This one says solve by elimination, aka addition. We're going to add the two equations together and force a cancel. Force an elimination, we're going to add the two equations together and force an elimination. We're going to stop here and refresh the video, and we'll come back with video number 3.